Hello and welcome to another episode of the Final Siren with Duck and Oz from the Purple Rain. The Freo Dockers Oz unfortunately going down in what ended up being a bit of a seesawing battle despite the first quarter. Sydney Swans 16-9, 105, defeating the Fremantle Dockers 12-4-76 by 29 points. Look, Oz, to be honest, it's the 6-2 first quarter that really cost us in the end, and we just couldn't bridge that gap.
Yeah, it was really interesting, mate, because obviously we came out all guns blazing. I thought it was good. It was looking great, up and about, and then once Sydney got the ascendancy, bada bing, bada boom, I thought the way in which we were moving the ball, we were trying to move the ball with speed, and we were trying to play on and take the game on, if you will. And I thought it looked better. And I know it sounds weird, but even though we were down, I thought we were playing better football in the sense of how we were going about it structurally. And I guess the one thing that cost us, mate, were those skills. And Sydney were just able to spread from the contest and take advantage of our mistakes, and they were just so clean.
Yeah, and in the end, I mean, I wrote down, I liked what we did after half-time. I thought that run and gun, take the game on, speed and dare, it was really great. However, we didn't quite have the skills to execute it, and it's because it's the first time we've really had a real red-hot crack at it for a half. Look, I'd love for us to play this style for the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like the season's by the wayside now. Let's see what we can do going forward. Let's give these guys the complete autonomy to take the game on as much as we can. I really liked a guy who, you know, I had kind of didn't know how he was going to go, but Wagner, I thought he was really good. Off the halfback flank, that dash, he just wants to take the game on.
It's a little engine that could, mate, and he just keeps on trucking on, and I love the way that he looks to play on at every opportunity. And yeah, I understand that there were a few skill execution errors early on, but he just kept going, and that's what I like about him, and he just kept powering through. And also, it must be said that Ethan Stanley, in his debut, mate, in one quarter of football with his 5 disposals, had 134 metres gained and 1 goal assist. Now, he is a guy that is going to take the game on, and if this is the style that we are playing, and if this is, you know, the intent in which we are inclined to move the football, then I think he is well suited to this side and how we move the ball driving forward.
Yeah, he's got a lot of Scotty Thornton about him.
Vampire 2.0.
Yeah, young Stanley, Ethan Stanley, coming through, of course, in our mid-season draft.
Spiritual son of Zach Dawson.
Yeah, he looks at it. He's got to be Zach Dawson. It's like they've put Zach Dawson and Scotty Thornton in the lab, and they've combined him into some kind of Frankenstein's beast. But no, Ethan Stanley was really great. You know, he's a sub. He shows something, and that's what we want to see in this back end of this season now. Is the boys showing something? Who can show something? You know, I think unfortunately, however, because of that, we are very much falling into this me, not we. And it's a really, really thing that you can see coming in every now and again with some of the stuff that we did. And it did cost us today where, you know, just that real lack of protection for each other, that shepherding. You know, like I coach footy on a Saturday morning, and my big thing that I always tell the boys, football is that great game, the fact that your job is literally to make it easier for the bloke next to you. That's all you got to do. It's as simple as that. Yeah. You know, because we've fallen behind and people start to go within their shell, and then they start to go to self-preservation mode, and that means that we don't do the little things that win you games of footy that we saw last year: the protection, the shepherds, the looking after each other, the team-first mentality. And unfortunately, we've got to get back to that if we're going to win any games, because this is a team that, you know, together we survive, but alone we sink.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a Dockers mantra, I guess. You've got to be together so that you survive together. But when we're doing things individually, we're just going to sink as a team, because it's just you're only got to be 1 to 2% off. You know, and we're playing against last year's grand finalists, and they're a great example. 1 to 2% off this year at the start of the year. They're, you know, battling it out for 12th.
Yeah, look, absolutely. There's a couple of players, obviously, Duck, that epitomise what you're saying. One is, look, I did think there was a great passage where Alex Pearce put on a nice block, and then that allowed the ball to be driven forward into the 50. Again, a great example of what happens if you give a guy a great shepherd. But someone else who I just want to quickly touch on, obviously Lockie Schultz, who had his 4 goals, but 11 disposals, and he had 7 tackles, Duck. mark, and wherever he could, he was trying to exert physical pressure. He was trying to put a block on, he was trying to tackle, he was trying to bump. He was obviously throwing himself in, and the little guy from Wagner, I tell you what, he really had an impact for. I guess stats can sometimes lie, and stats would tell you that, well, he's only got 11 disposals. Does that mean he didn't have an impact? Well, actually, quite the opposite. He had a huge impact for the small amount of disposals that he had, and I think that sort of selfless attitude that he has in that forward line was fantastic, and it allowed opportunities for the other forwards to really shine.
Yeah, and I thought in the end as well, like him, like Shooter and Switkowski, they try their guts out, don't they? They really tried, and they tried to generate something inside forward 50 and get us going and get us up and bound, bring that pressure. If you can't necessarily kick goals, you've got to bring pressure and bring something like that. Look, I thought Luke Ryan had a really, really solid game as well. He fought on really hard in the back line there. That was under siege at times. Look, giant miss, although he hardly touched the ball. His highlight got me up and about more than anything.
That mark.
Great big mark.
Oh, boy.
Goes back, kicks a goal. He actually had a couple opportunities where guys kind of cut in front of him and took the mark.
Yep.
And I really want Jai to be able to build in and his confidence to get blokes out of the way. Get his own ball, young nifty Nev, and go and just demand that those small forwards get out of the way and don't run into his zone, and just lead at that ball. And I thought, look, he had another nearly game, there, and he only has to kick 2 or 3 goals to really, really turn it up and get involved in that. Caleb Sarong battled hard, 8 centre clearances. It was interesting to see Switkowski go into the centre, but I mean the thing happened to be that every time we kicked a goal, get the ball, we say 10 years hard labour, it's real hard for us to kick a goal.
Yep.
And then, it comes down the other end. Alrighty, we got Corey.
Alrighty.
Hey Corey, Dustin, how are you? Duck?
Nice to meet you. There you go.
Put the cans on.
Your ears must be burning, mate, because we just talked about you before, and I may have mentioned the little engine that could, and I tell you what, the way in which you were running about, taking the game on, and look, obviously early on we were talking about skill execution, but you just kept moving and looking to take the game on, and it looked like it's something different. It was something different for us in terms of how we played, and we were up and about it. We liked it. What did you think?
I'm cooked now. But, I guess that's one of my strengths is to run and create, even if I do stuff it up. Sonny and Seba kept getting to me, just keep going for it. And so that's what I do. Play your role first, and then try and help the boys out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wags, was there a clear instruction at halftime just to take the game on, just for the group as a whole? Because it seemed like there was a little bit of a switch of like, the only way we're going to win this game is if we just go.
Probably it wasn't the message, but our intent all game was really good. I think that's the way we like to play. That's the more like how we like to play. But I think the boys knew that we needed to take it on and sort of that nothing to lose mindset, and we did that, and I thought we had opportunities to do it and get it done, but execution, like you said, a little bit at the end.
Nice. And can I just ask, like, in terms of instructions for you, pre-game obviously coming in, an opportunity again to rep the Freo Footy Club. What were the instructions for you in terms of strengths for your game and bringing that to the club?
Yeah, well, like I said, just that run and carry, get it off, but doing it at the right times. I feel like in the last couple of weeks I've learned to find that balance of playing your role, and when it's your time to go, that's when you go, and you have more on your legs to actually run away from big buds sometimes. So that's good.
Can I just ask on that, what is it like to know that the beast is chasing you down, and he is quite fast? So
you try not to know, but you just know in the back of your head he's coming. So he got me in a knee right at the end though. It's a big knee too. So,
oh boy.
Yeah.
Now, Corey, probably your best game for the club, I'd say. Would you say that?
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah. How have you settled into the club? Obviously, your third club now at the Dockers. You come back through the VFL, you get drafted. How's that journey been for you so far? And even you got a chance early on in the year. Then you get dropped. You go back to Peel. You work really hard. We've seen you down at Peel, just continually working hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I loved it. Just loved it. Me and my partner moved over, and it's made us feel so welcome. The club, the young boy, it's such a young club, and they're so professional from coming from other clubs. It's a really good team, and I know it's not clicking at the moment, but it will. But we've loved it. They welcomed us home, like you said, got in early, and probably wasn't expecting it, to be honest. But you get dropped, you get your whack try and find your confidence back, learn your role. And this time when I came in, I felt like I was ready. So
nice.
Yeah, I loved it.
And what about that transition from Peel into the senior side, mate? Is it pretty much a seamless sort of transition, and you know what is expected of you? These are the KPIs. I've got to hit these KPIs, and then what's expected of you in the senior team sort of mirrors that.
Yeah. So having Joff down there, we play the exact same way. So it's a very easy transition. Probably a little bit quicker out here, but you know what role you need to do down there, and if when you get picked up, you just do the exact same role. So yeah. Joff's doing good down there. Peel going well. A few losses in the way, but hopefully we'll go deep in finals.
It must be hard for you, Corey, because you're a guy who takes the game on so much that when you do get dropped or you have those adversities, how do you then go back to yourself and go, hey, I've just got to keep rolling dice? Is there someone down the club that's in your ear about that and just going, mate, you just got to keep going, how you going? Or
Yeah, Bordy and Tendai are awesome. I'm always out there doing touch with Tendai, and he's telling me the ways what you do, and you play your role. Look, you're always going to get done. But that's AFL footy. Like it comes, you get dropped, you got to learn to cop it on the chin sometimes and say what I got to do to get back in. Keep doing it. Don't sulk, don't whinge. That's a team footy, so just play your role and you'll go well.
Nice. Now we were saying at the beginning of the pod that even though we were down, even though we lost the game, we thought we were playing a pretty exciting brand of footy, and for the punter watching, we're kind of up and about for it. And I understand that you'd be disappointed in the loss, but what was the message from JLo post game? Was there's got to be some positivity and growth from that? So, was there elements of that coming out from the coach in terms of his message?
Yeah, definitely. Like, we're not satisfied with that losing, but yeah, that's the way we want to play. Like, get excited because we are a young group. We bring the intent. Like we said, we have the opportunities to go forward, and we missed it, but we're going to be there in the next couple of years, and look out, I reckon.
Yeah, nice.
Now, the big question: first quarters.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it become a thing now where the playing group has taken it on and just been like, it's down to us, or are you? What is the? How do you solve it?
It's weird.
Yeah.
Like we didn't start well. I think we had
bang.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think there was just 12 minutes there where they kicked 5. I think so. Oh, look, I don't know. You just got to stick to roll, stick to doing when it's your turn to go. But I don't know what to put a nail in the head. But I don't know what to do. Just keep trying hard, I guess.
Yeah, look, obviously, if we start the way in which we start against most teams, and we have to remember that Sydney are a very good clearance team, and they spread so well from the contest. I think, with more reps and another pre-season, and as you're saying, get up and about, because I think if we're playing like that, and the group that we've got, I think exciting times ahead, and that's got to be the genuine belief for you guys down the club.
Yeah, exactly right, and they're in the grand final last year. Like people forget that, but they're a bloody good team too. So their surge mentality got it out there at its time. Then kicked a few from just little cheapy ones out the back, but they're a good team, and if we can match them, so God,
Yep.
Now, young Ethan Stanley played his first game for the club.
Yeah.
He's obviously come over in the mid-season draft. Have you had much to do with him? He's a Victorian as well.
Yeah, he's a quiet lad, but he's shit at ping pong. But no, he's a star. Like, he owned the stage out there. He loved it. He's ready for the big time. The way he was kicking the ball, he got a beautiful boot. So he's another one. Yeah, look out for. He's only young too, and where he's come from Box Hill over to here, Peel, 2 games in, and look at him go. So.
Nice. And look, last one from me before Duck. Obviously, you come over, you're setting the world on fire in pre-season. I was. And Duck as well. We were watching pre-season, and it's quite impressive watching you run. Like obviously, you've got that huge tank, but then you picked up a bit of an injury. You're fully past that now. That's all. Body's looking good, feeling great.
Yeah, it's definitely the best I've felt. Yeah, the hammy. When you run, you like to use your hammies, and when they go, it definitely took a month and a little bit to really trust it again and really learn to take off and hit that sprint. But in the back, that's past me now. I'm ready to go, and then
Yeah.
Now, last one. Obviously, you're down at Peel. You're around the boys down there as well. Is there anyone who hasn't debuted yet that fans will be excited to see? I know Paul Sebbett's done his ACL,
there's one,
and it's a real tough one. But is there anyone else down there that you just once this guy gets a few more pre-seasons under his belt, he could be anything?
Tommy Emmett.
Tommy Emmett.
He's a wrecking ball, so I reckon if he gets on the field, there'll be subs coming left, right and centre. He smashes everyone. Yeah.
All right, Corey Wagner, thank you for joining us today on the Final Siren.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks,
Thank
mate.
you. All righty, we might wrap it up there, I reckon, for this week. Look, another tough loss for the Dockers. it's just one of those things where it's. I mean, as fans, I know we expect wins all the time, but you see those little growth moments, like we always talk about, Oz, those growth moments. But look, I think if we can play the way that we played in that second half with that run and gun mentality, and just no fear, the old school no fear.
Yeah.
The
old school T-shirt.
Old school T-shirt, no fear. And then little did people know I had a lot of fears. But no, play without fear. And that's a really hard thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
But I would love to see us do it over the next, I think we've got 4 games left.
Yeah.
We've just got to keep going and keep working on that, because that's what's going to win us a premiership in the future.
Yep.
Is playing that style of footy.
Yep.
And us going back into our shell and stuff like that. We've just got to get out there and just run and gun, just like that man Corey Wagner does.
Yes.
And just go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
And look, at the end of the day, you make mistakes and you learn from your mistakes. And the trend of footy is to go. You look at the teams that are at the top, and they all go, go, go. So, absolutely, if we can play with that mindset, and I love the positivity coming out there and talking about, look, we're just around the corner. And I think if we play like that, we are. So let's see how we go.
All right, guys, on that note, remember to subscribe, rate, and review. Remember to click on the bells down here for the YouTube. Remember, we're at Purple Rain 95, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and Threads. We're on Threads. I know Fremantle on Threads as well. We're threading it up. At the Purple Rain 95 on TikTok for all those hip young cats doing TikToks. And guys, remember, we do a show on Monday, a review show on Monday, and a preview show on Thursday. So make sure you get around those. But stick fat with the club. We've been through some good times. We've been through some bad times. We're just going to keep going. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. There's plenty of really promising young players coming through, and our time will come soon, Oz. I believe it.
I think it's a healthy business cycle trend, mate. We're going to try and reduce that boom-bust cycle, get to the trend line. That's what we want to see, mate.
Yeah, just constant growth. All right, guys, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you in 2 weeks, hopefully.
You shall do. See you later.